Good.
Call the September 24th meeting of the Millwood Planning Commission to order. First thing will be roll call. Commissioner Rickard.
Here.
Commissioner Beasy.
Here.
Commissioner Molitor.
Here.
Commissioner Wu.
Here.
And Commissioner Inkney is here, so all present are here, and we do have a quorum. So the first order of business will be the approval of the meeting agenda. I don't, looks okay to me. Does anybody have any comments on that?
I make a motion we accept.
I have a motion. Do I have a second?
I second it.
Okay. Any further discussion? Good. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Ayes have it. Motion, not a motion, the next order of business would be approval of our minutes from the last meeting, which was August 27th. I looked them over. I think they were pretty thorough. Anybody have any comments on them? Okay. I'll entertain a motion to approve.
I move that we approve the minutes as presented.
Okay.
I'll second it.
Okay. It's been moved and approved, motioned and seconded to approve the meeting minutes. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Ayes have it. Okay, that brings us up to our action items. And that is going to be on the periodic update, and so it is in a public hearing format. So before we get started on that, I'll open the public hearing. And the first order of business is if anybody in the audience is here to provide comment on the public hearing for the draft comprehensive plan, please make sure you've signed in on the sign-in sheet. Please bring your name and address clearly so information can be mailed to you. Next, I will ask if any of the Planning Commission has a conflict of interest with what we're going to have the public hearing about tonight. Seeing none. Is there anyone in the audience that has an objection to any of the members of the Planning Commission hearing the proposal? Seeing none. Then I will open the hearing, and up is the staff presentation, so I will ask the planning department staff to make a presentation.
All right, thank you. So it has been 14 months, I calculated, that we've been working on this, and we are to the final public hearing. I'm just going to do a quick summary of my staff report and then go over the recommended options for Planning Commission recommendation. So the Growth Management Act requires the city to enact a comp plan and to review and revise, if necessary, the plan and development regulations periodically, they're currently every 10 years, to ensure that it complies with the requirements of the Growth Management Act. Updates to the comp plan must be consistent with the countywide plan policies for Spokane County as amended, and must plan to accommodate the urban growth projected to occur within the next 20 years, as well as the city's housing allocation. The Washington State Department of Commerce provided a periodic update checklist for cities to guide the process for the periodic update requirements. The city of Millwood completed that checklist and determined which elements of the comp plan would need to be reviewed and updated, which was the majority. Millwood also prepared a land capacity analysis consistent with the countywide planning policies, as well as a racially disparate impacts analysis, and updates to its housing element consistent with guidance provided by Washington State Department of Commerce for Tier 3 cities. Millwood's 2026 Comprehensive Plan Periodic Update process has followed the City of Millwood's Public Participation Plan and the Periodic Update Work Plan that were adopted by Council on August 13th, 2024, and provided extensive public participation opportunities consistent with these plans, including meeting SEPA and 60-day review requirements. The periodic update process will continue after this with updates to the critical areas ordinance and development regulations. Again, following the work plan with updates provided by state law. And then also the climate change and resiliency element is planned to be added to the comp plan by the final compliance deadline of December 2026. The review process for Millwood's 2026 Comprehensive Plan periodic update complies with MMC requirements as applicable and Washington state law, and the August 28th, 2025 version of the City of Millwood 2026 Comprehensive Plan periodic update has met internal consistency review. screen. So, tonight, it was anticipated the planning commission would make a recommendation to the city council on the comp plan. Option one, recommendation of approval, and that would be recommends approval of the August 28th, 2025 version and considers everything has been met. Option two, recommendation of approval with modifications. Option three, recommendation for denial. I hope we would not go there. And option four, forward to the city council without planning commission recommendation. Commissioner Amy.
Okay. So, any questions on, Amanda's presentation? Any commissioners?
No questions.
Okay, so then, now we get the applicant presentation.
Us.
Yeah, right, which is that, so I mean, I'm just going down the
Yeah.
list here, okay? So, Jay, I know that, I see you've got a bunch of stuff marked,
Yeah,
and Bobby, so this is the time to ask the questions.
okay. Fast forward then to page 58.
Packet or?
Oh, yeah,
Packet,
The,
packet number, yes.
packet page 50.
Yes.
Okay.
This kind of gets back to what we've talked about before. Chart 2A,
What's the comprehensive plan page number at the bottom?
58.
oh, 40.
Oh, 40, page
Oh,
40.
40.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Okay.
And this gets back to things that we've talked about before. Millwood, chart 2A adds up to 101. Spokane County adds up to 100%. So wouldn't Millwoods be, something's wrong there?
They did a weird thing that I don't think is
this-
totally legitimate, but there's two questions. One is Hispanic or Latino of any race, and the other is persons of color
I know we've talked
or
about that.
persons that are white, but they're two questions because you can be white and Latino, or you can be a person of color and Latino. And if you take all of that, you're gonna add up to more than 100% because you've got two questions. That it really is not a legitimate way to represent things.
And we pulled out any conflicting and put the census data in instead.
So it's an official number and we just
Okay, well, I know we
recognize its
talked about it
limitations
before,
and-
and I thought that had been, rectified. So when I saw that 101, I'm going, okay, we're still not quite there yet. So, okay, all right,
Some official somewhere did it, so.
okay. Some of these, I've got one page here, but I don't have any notes. So I'm gonna skip that, go to the next one. Some of these I got started, it's such a big packet, I got started a week ago, and so some of these things I've kind of forgotten about. I was going to page 117 about the existing historic property. I was just going to compliment Bobby on filling out as many of those names of those properties as she possibly could. That's page 99 of the plan, but 117 of the our packet number.
Cool.
More places we have that historic information, better off we are.
It's amazing, yeah. Page 127 of the plan, page 145 of our packet. And this is more of a question, Amanda. Transportation forecast. Furthermore, there are no substantial development projects within city limits that would contribute to higher demands on transportation network. But you get into the numbers, says the city of Millwood, second paragraph, I'm sorry, down towards just above the red line. City of Millwood conducted traffic counts in 2015 and 16 as provided, goes on. 2014 model volume is projected by multiplying the 2015 volume by a 1% growth rate. And is that 1% annually then, Amanda?
Yes.
Okay, do you think that should be annually should be added, or is that assumed that it's?
That was the original wording, and it was consistent, so I didn't
Okay.
propose changing.
Okay, and then getting down to the table at the bottom, says it's going up by 1%. 2015 daily model volume, Argonne and Trent is 31,000, and 1%, if it goes up 1%, now 2040 says it's 28,000. And each one of those numbers goes from 31, Argonne and Buckeye, 31,000, down to 27,800, a decline of 10.69%, which,
We have the north-south freeway and Forker Road, and, so the county has projected numbers that are smaller.
okay.
And
really
these
think
numbers will
that's
be
gonna
updated
happen,
again prior to the next update, once we factor in the improvements to Argonne Road as
Okay.
well.
I guess that makes sense, but I also know that, they're talking about, in that next page, it does talk about the regional forecast, regional traffic forecast, but this doesn't seem like it takes into consideration, let's say, that new development right
400
over here on
homes.
the other side of 400 homes, right on the other side of the river.
Yep.
So how do we need to make mention in this plan that,
Is that a for sure
There's-
thing happening?
no, not for sure, but
That's
in the
why.
next 10 or 20 years?
Yeah,
there's
so
gonna
I
be a lot of
coordinated with
development.
SRTC
Uh-huh.
on this, and Argonne was the only one obviously affected regionally. I was aware of the potential pedestrian improvements that are a little farther down the line, so those were addressed for north of the river. But any project that was currently in not even a full preliminary planning stage, it's a very, very early stage, was not addressed in this. There's not enough information at the time, and so if it is a go, obviously it's going to need to be addressed. It probably potentially sooner than the 10-year mark, but at this point it's just too preliminary.
Okay, well, that's what I was wondering, should there something just be added to this, that there could be future development that will impact our little city, especially Argonne?
I swore I actually had that statement.
Yeah, that
I
sounds
think
like a
I do.
familiar statement somewhere
Yeah.
here.
Yeah,
I know we had talked about it, and so I thought I put
Yeah.
something in somewhere in here. I can't remember if it was a
Okay.
policy or implementing action. But obviously, we're planning, we have to coordinate with the surroundings as well.
yeah, and I think, it does say, second sentence in that first paragraph, the county's planned, but that was lined out, improvement on Bigelow Gulch.
Oh, because they were already
Because they
completed.
happened.
Oh, okay,
They're
duh.
there.
Okay, got it. Okay, that makes sense. Thank you for clarifying that. So you want me to keep going on all my,
Yep, let's go ahead.
okay. Page 210 or 228. And this is just a general question about Inland Empire paper. It says, the city sewer system services the entire city, and my question would be, what about water?
Separate section.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right, I missed that. Thanks, Amanda.
Yep.
So we addressed the sewer, but the water is in,
It's further, it's up above, I believe.
okay.
Sewer service, and before that is water. And I had a ton of data on water because we had, Westcomer had done the
Right,
update to the water plan.
okay. And this Joint City Council Planning Meeting Commission. I wondered why this was in here again. This
It was the summary.
Yeah, okay. Kind of touched on that earlier.
Mhm.
Okay. And the same thing for the next section. Already answered those. Okay, the executive summary, page 372 in our packet. It has task force members, Millwood is Heather Cannon.
Oh, you're looking at the old countywide planning policies, or the EPF. You're looking at the old EPF.
Okay, so that's,
That's what was adopted back
that's
then.
what-
It hasn't been changed.
okay.
Yeah.
All right. I wondered
I
about,
was trying to follow you because it's in the appendix, so I didn't have numbers.
okay, I wondered about that, okay.
Okay.
And then, page 390,
290?
390.
And what is it?
It is the Transportation Improvement Board Small City Street Inventory.
Yes.
And I think maybe it's just because I don't understand this, but the very first one, Argonne Road, Bridgeport to South Riverway Avenue, travel lanes are 4 lanes. That's, I mean, there's several others in there. Liberty Avenue to Bridgeport, 4 lanes. But I don't know if that ties to Argonne somehow.
Well, it's on Argonne.
Yeah, so it's Argonne Road from Bridgeport to South Riverway, 4 lanes. Argonne Road from Buckeye to Grace, 4 lanes.
Okay,
And that's travel lane, so it doesn't count our new center lane.
Yeah, and obviously this was May 31st, 2024 too.
okay.
It's the
All
most
right,
recent we have.
Just seemed confusing to an old guy like me, so, okay.
Dalton to Liberty, good, I disagree.
Well, there's several of them in there, Bobby, that I don't agree with the number of lanes, the travel lanes. So,
Well, this lane is good, it's the rating status that I question.
oh. Well, bring it up, you can.
It's not for us to rate the roads.
Okay. All right.
I just have to deal with the splash from the ruts that the water accumulates.
Oh, boy. Okay, page 405 of our packet, and this is just very last paragraph. Planning Commission, Millwood Planning Commission, it says, Planning Commission members will be notified of all community activities and events. Then it says, all public workshops, hearings, and other activities with the Planning Commission will be noticed appropriately. I know we post notices, but should that be notified?
This was the adopted public participation plan that was adopted a year ago.
Okay, but, okay.
There's
So-
nothing, it's just in the attachments.
Okay.
Yeah.
But I just didn't know if it was, proper wording would be, Planning Commission will be notified appropriately rather
It
than,
may have had a typo, but.
I suspect
Notice.
the lawyer wrote it too. Sometimes their language is a little
okay,
different.
all right. That's why I said that was more of a question. Okay. Geez, I get to dominate in this portion. Sorry, everybody.
No,
This is good.
Yeah, you went through it page by page, that's great.
And then page 415, and I think after it says examples include birds and mammals, and it didn't have, I mean, we've got osprey, we've had a moose in Millwood before, but it's just, these are just some examples, so
Yeah.
I understood
We
that.
have eagles, okay.
Yeah.
Eagle.
Eagles,
Beaver,
osprey,
yeah.
yeah. So those, and
Yeah,
then,
left out the osprey.
but it also has herring and shellfish too, so under fish, I don't think we have too many.
Crayfish. There's a
Yeah.
lot of crayfish.
How about the herrings then? Okay, you're right about,
There are herons.
are there?
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, and this was the SEPA checklist that was routed back in August.
Oh, I've seen herons, yeah, but I was
Oh,
talking about
herring.
herring.
Yeah, I don't
I
know.
thought herring were like like in the C.
Yeah.
Oh,
Well,
I think we don't have that.
I don't think we have it,
Yeah.
they go to and from the sea, I think.
Yeah.
They live in streams, but they're near.
But we
the
do
sea.
have a large quantity of.
Well,
water.
and the one that you're calling out, I actually didn't have anything circled because it's not applicable non-project action.
Yeah, okay.
Oh, list any, so it's,
Yeah.
this is the state form that includes the ocean.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then page 425, my last question for you, Amanda. Determination of non-significance.
Yep.
Description of proposal, that next two paragraphs down, or one paragraph down. Says no zone changes are required in order to accommodate Millwood's future growth and a substantial change. Didn't we make a couple of zone changes to enable us to,
We updated the wording descriptions for each zone, but we did not do any zone or land use changes.
So we haven't moved the
Yeah.
lines. We're gonna change the requirements and wording for the different zones, but we haven't changed the lines for where the zones are located.
okay. I thought we added another zone, a commercial C3 or something. Okay. I should have checked that, sorry.
We defined the central business district and made a new map for that.
Okay,
So maybe that's what you're
maybe that's,
thinking
yeah,
of.
okay,
'Cause that was a new map.
okay, all right. I won't take any more time. Thank you very much.
No, this
No,
is
that's-
great, because those are totally different ones than I found.
Oh, good.
So this is what we
Okay.
want.
Okay,
All right, Commissioner Beasy.
So, I did some, more in-depth looking at the historic preservation chapter. And I have some questions.
Okay.
So, I get to it, that is, packet page 115, is where it starts.
I'm sorry, say that again.
Packet page 115.
115.
This is the biggest packet I've ever seen.
It is. Okay, here we go. Historic preservation.
So I am a little concerned about, as we move through this, once we get beyond the list of existing buildings to page 120, how everything is redlined out.
We went over that at the last meeting. This incorporated the previous ordinance you guys passed in 2021 that wasn't included in the comp plan. And it moved all the goals and policies up to the top of the plan, consistent with the other elements.
So I went through those and looked, and not everything made it, and that has me concerned.
I took it directly from the ordinance.
Well, maybe the ordinance was missing some parts of what was in our official comprehensive plan.
Well, yeah, I can only go
Been in-
by what's in the ordinance.
So, all of what we're doing here doesn't matter if there isn't an ordinance that attaches to it?
Well, chapter 7, the historic preservation, we weren't updating that. We were only incorporating what was done through the previous ordinance that updated it. Remember, we talked about that at the
Well, we
beginning.
talked about we weren't updating it, but we've got an awful lot of stuff crossed out for not updating.
It was from the ordinance.
I got it right here.
You got it, perfect.
That's confusing, I agree.
Yeah.
What happened was, for whatever reason, this ordinance, when it was passed, the comprehensive plan did not get updated, which it should have. And so, when an ordinance is passed that affects that, there's, every yearly, you're supposed to update anything that has affected the comprehensive plan. That didn't happen. Christina didn't do that, she was doing hers. This was passed in 2022,
2022,
ordinance
I know,
524.
2022, and it
April
affected
12th.
the comprehensive plan?
Well, it was a change in, you can read the ordinance, and it affected the comprehensive plan, so it had to be, the comprehensive plan needed to be changed, but it did not get changed.
So it says in there that we're changing the comprehensive plan to now say,
Update language that has become outdated over time and reflect the current goals and policies of the historic preservation. approving proposed amendment to the Millwood Comprehensive Plan requesting to update language that has become outdated over time and reflect the current goals and policies.
Wow, that one slipped through.
So,
Um,
so this is in the, been updated in the mini code, on the online code, in 2022, when that all.
But it wasn't included in the
But it
comprehensive.
didn't update the comprehensive plan, so that was the issue.
so we are no longer working with property owners, government agencies, and other resources to identify, document, restore, and preserve historic resources?
Is that one of the goals or policies?
Yeah,
Yes.
The wording, I believe, was changed slightly, and there is wording like that up in the goals and
And here's
policies.
another one, right after,
Find it.
ordinance 525 also changed the comprehensive plan.
That was the
For the
transportation
city
one.
transportation plan.
yeah,
Okay, so that
yeah,
also
I know they do that every year, the
was a
the
change. This
historic
one changed it
preservation
so that they
slip through.
didn't have to redo that one, it was something.
But yes,
Yeah.
I remember that one going
Yeah.
through.
This one was
Slipped the
same-
historic
same day,
preservation through on me,
Same
yeah.
meeting. So,
Ah,
same
huh.
meeting. So, you're welcome to look at that.
Yeah, so the only changes that were done to chapter 7 were reflected of that ordinance, plus your addition of the new property names.
So, yeah, that's very concerning. These are things that are in some kind of ordinance, because when I looked up the duties of the Preservation Commission,
That's a
these
resolution.
things show up there.
Mm-hmm.
That's in the resolutions. The
Mhm.
duties are defined in a resolution.
Right. But we can't have them. So we have this overall plan, that's the comprehensive plan.
For land use, yeah.
Yeah, so, we set up the overall plan, and then we set our
Ordinances and policies.
policies and things to match the plan. So in this case, we have our policies and things, but we've had to pull it out of the comprehensive plan.
Is it about how the Historic Preservation Commission functions? Is that-
Yeah,
It's because it's included in like Lisa said, in a resolution, just like the Planning Commission and how it functions is included in a resolution. And then it's in the Millwood Municipal Code.
so we end up with almost a meaningless historic preservation chapter. If you look at what's been pulled, what's left in, we have half a page of the history of Millwood. We have that the community supports this for a paragraph.
You have the listing of the properties.
And then we have the Preservation Commission, and we list some of its duties, but not all of its duties. Strangely enough. And then we list the properties, and that's pretty much it.
Yeah, I didn't touch it, other than, like I said, incorporating the ordinance, so I
Then to
didn't write
scratch
the
out
ordinance.
half of it.
Yeah.
How do we address that?
We could bring it back up when we do the climate element inclusion, if you wanna propose additional changes to the historic preservation, because it wasn't part of the periodic update.
Okay. Kind of seems like kind of a backdoor way to address that, when it could be addressed right here in the Preservation Commission section.
Well, it would be, if we brought it up then, it would be addressed here. We'd just be discussing it later.
It would be in part 2 of the update, because we have to include the climate element.
Right.
And so if you want to propose changes to the historic preservation element as well, we can do that as part of it. It's just not part of the periodic update, but it's once a year, so I would include it next year for 2026.
So the climate update that we have not yet gotten
Will be adopted in 2026.
will be a separate change of the comprehensive plan.
I have a
It's not part
placeholder.
of the overall goal Yes.
It will be. So this is,
It'll become part of the overall.
yes, in
But it
2026.
will be acted on and addressed as a separate year's worth of changes to the plan.
Yes.
Okay.
And so if the commission votes as a whole to include the historic preservation, chapter 7, for update during that, you have.
It'd be
every
the same
opportunity to-
thing. It would
yeah.
be a change to the comprehensive plan that would take place in the chapter, but we wouldn't talk about it and address it until next year.
Yeah.
So Amanda, I have a question. How would that affect the current ordinance? Would council have to do an amendment to the
I would
current
probably
ordinance?
repeal that ordinance if they make major changes.
Okay,
And
but still,
replace it.
it would have to still go through council to have
Yeah.
to do something with that ordinance because
Yeah.
that's.
And I believe does direction for planning commission activities come from council?
Yes,
Okay, so we'd have to have council agree to open up the chapter 7 as well.
Or have citizens or somebody or other propose it as a change.
Yeah. You could, yeah. We don't have citizen opening until the end of the periodic update. I'd have to look if it's 26 or 27 when the citizen one comes back.
Really?
Because of doing the periodic update, it was voted on by council to not accept annual amendments until we were done with the periodic update, so we can maintain consistency.
Wow. So any business or anything that needs a change is just out of luck for 2 years?
Well, we're doing it for them, essentially, a lot of this. That was all adopted as part of the public participation and work plan.
I guess I've gotten quite confused. How did this get struck out in the first place?
that ordinance right there.
Yeah.
To be consistent with that?
Well, it was reviewed obviously by planning commission and council and then adopted
It
in,
was not. Not by planning commission, it was just council.
yeah, I wasn't here then, so I can only tell you, all I did was put it in.
It would not have slipped past me if it had come to planning commission.
That's what I was thinking. I
Yeah.
wouldn't have slipped past you.
Yeah.
So Amanda was going through the historic preservation, no changes, right? So she gets the thing and it's like, but this doesn't match what's on the Muni code. This does not match what happened, did something, and so she asked me what happened, why are these not matching? So we try and decipher it and it's like, well, we passed this ordinance in here, and she's like, oh my God, that was never included. That was never changed in the comprehensive plan, therefore it wasn't matching. So that's where that's when we discovered all of this, that's what happened. I don't know why it wasn't, Christina didn't do that, I don't know why it wasn't a practice, but when an ordinance is passed, I guess, I learned this too, because I don't know these things, during the year and it affects the comprehensive plan, you typically will change the comprehensive plan if the ordinance has been changed, if the ordinance affects it. That did not happen, so therefore, when this periodic update happened, anything that went back, luckily it was only just that one, wasn't there, or were there two?
And the transportation.
And those two affected the comprehensive plan, so those had to be included in the comprehensive plan. We can't not include them. They didn't get included when they were supposed to, but they had to get included now.
So there are two ways to change the comprehensive plan. There is the process that the plan sets forth, where you
The annual amendments.
you collect together and then they're acted or looked at by the planning commission and there's a hearing and you go through all of this.
Yeah.
And the other one is just for the city council to decide to pass an ordinance and then it's changed without any hearings or.
I don't know if those were annual ones that came through in November and just took so long to get adopted
They
in
would have
till
come to
April.
they would have come through the planning commission if
I
they were
don't-
the annual ones.
Yeah, I
I don't
can't
know.
tell you because I wasn't.
So what are our options now going forward?
Options now is, I would say, because we're at the 9th hour of the
Right.
comprehensive plan, I would say get feedback from city council if they want to reopen chapter 7 and we do it as part of the 2026 portion when the climate element comes in.
A lot of this is me understanding.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I say, these things exist in a different ordinance in the municipal code because I found them. They're where it defines the Preservation Commission, what their duties are. It lists these things, which is why I say it's interesting. You know, some of their duties in the comprehensive plan, but not all their duties. We pulled out some of the duties from the comprehensive plan, even though they're still their duties in a different ordinance.
I mean, if I was to write it, I would have just referenced the Mulewood Municipal Code for their duties, but I didn't write the section.
So, I mean, it's just, like I say, understanding, because I thought there was one way to change a comprehensive plan, and that was to go through the process with the hearing and people, you know, having input and stuff, but apparently there's a shortcut way that the city council can pass an ordinance and bam, it's changed and there's no hearing and no input.
I don't know, I don't do that.
Well, no,
Yeah.
well, you work with us, so clearly it would come through,
Yeah.
but, you're telling me that essentially seems to be what's happened here and that.
I'd have
That's
to go
like
back
a
and look
back
at the
doorway I
findings.
didn't know existed.
Here it is, I found the annual, it was in 2021.
Is when it started.
Yeah, and it was under the annual amendments, and so that's how it,
Was that
There's
when we were
findings.
not meeting because of COVID or something?
No, the
Yeah.
PDF above it.
Absolutely.
That's okay.
Are
Just
you back to
write it.
work?
Yeah, COVID brought up a lot of accuracy.
Yep,
Yeah.
right,
Yes.
Well,
that one?
yeah,
are you good with
okay.
asking city council just to reopen this?
The planning commission held a
Clearly we
properly
can't.
noticed, yeah, it said
It's-
according to the findings,
Bobby.
went,
Here, right here.
yeah, according to the findings, it went to planning commission.
March 30th, 2022.
February 23rd, 2021 was when it first went.
So when did it go to planning commission supposedly?
2021 and 2022,
Do we have the months?
yeah.
Planning commission voted 3-0 and 1.
One abstention.
So February 23rd was the planning commission public hearing, voted 3-0 and 1. And then forwarded on to council and adopted in 2022. So it took a while to get through it. Almost a full year, took a full year to get through.
I don't, and it was couched as being a comprehensive plan update.
Right here.
Yeah, annual comprehensive plan update
Wow.
from 2021.
I bet we were meeting remotely and it was, I mean,
I was gonna say, the only way I know is for a comp plan is to go through planning commission recommendation or just on to city council. And then you have the periodic update, which of course is what we're in now, that's way more.
right, that's,
Yeah.
yeah.
But for annual amendments, an application's received or staff proposes or council proposes, whatever, it's in the code. And then, those are, gathered up between September 1st and November 1st, I believe it is. And then, it starts to be heard by the planning commission January, of the next year.
Okay. Well, it's disturbing that it happened and I don't remember, but it's comforting that it went through the process.
Thank you
So-
for pulling that up.
Yes.
Yeah, that's very helpful.
Mhm.
So there is only one way and it involves
Yes. Mhm.
public hearings.
Yeah.
Okay, that's,
Even emergency amendments are gonna eventually get through hearing.
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good.
I'm like you, Mike, if Bobby missed it, I would question it, but it's.
Well, I'm
there
sitting
in
here
black
going
and
at
white.
her.
So we had a
I will
long
look at the
time we
meeting,
didn't
so-
meet and then we were meeting.
Well, and it was
over-
during COVID, so you
Right.
probably were meeting remotely.
Yeah,
Yeah, so,
well, I signed it, so.
The application was submitted November 10th. And per the.
Moving on.
announcement,
That's it?
that's it.
Cool. Okay,
Wow,
great.
Bobby.
Okay.
I was working on the assumption that I found everything else.
No,
So
that's great.
this was one I hadn't looked at.
But I wanna commend both Jay and Bobby for your thoroughness on this. I'll be honest with you, you're better people than I am. I mean, I couldn't have done it, so, thank you for the hard work on that, so. That brings us to public testimony. Is there anybody in the audience that wishes to, provide some testimony in regard to the updated comprehensive plan?
Mike?
Get it done.
Sorry. Time out. Out of order. Commissioner Rickard.
I have a question on packet number 224.
And what's comprehensive plan page number?
I'm sorry,
224.
224 is the packet, the comprehensive plan.
right,
Page 206 of the.
206.
206 of the plan.
Oh,
Oh, yeah, okay. 224.
206. 2016. Got it. Okay.
At the very bottom, there's a discussion about the comparison of the last 3 years of water use to 2016's use. 2016 evidently being the baseline.
Because it was the last periodic update. Is that it?
Well, I take it that's the accepted way to do that.
Generally compared back, yeah, that would be the last time that the information was gathered. And so you're reflecting back to the previous version of the comprehensive plan. Yeah, it lists 2016 baseline or 6,415 gallons.
Well, the thing that bothered me was that it's taking the average of 21, 22, and 23 and comparing it to 1 year. Whereas if you take an average of some of the years around 2016, it actually works out to be pretty close to being the same thing.
yeah.
2016 just being kind of the lowest number already.
So
That's a good point.
I averaged 15, 16, and 17, and I actually came up with less water usage.
this was in Welch Comer's report, wasn't it? Yeah. Consumption per connection increased 19,000.
That's a good point.
Yeah, source Welch Comer Water Use Efficiency Memo,
Yeah.
625.
Yeah, I pulled this from Welch Comer's information on the water plan.
But yeah, so they've really drawn a faulty conclusion because of the numbers they picked out to use.
Yeah.
It's always disturbing.
1 year versus
Could
3.
could have taken 2016 and just said, well, we'll compare it to 2022.
Mhm.
So the water use would be a lot less.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you know,
You're just gonna pull out some
what do we
numbers.
want to conclude? Let's find our
Yeah.
numbers.
Yeah, what the point they were getting to was that the city did not meet their goal to reduce the consumption per connection by 1% during the peak months. And so that was part of the goal as we go forward, is to continue efficiency methods in order to do that.
But if they've messed with the numbers to come to the conclusion that we didn't meet our goal, then that's
Yeah.
not legitimate.
Yeah, that's the point. Did we or didn't we? And I don't know how you could actually look at these numbers and come up with that. But if it was like that before, and I suppose if it's in the water plan, then maybe we have to go with that. But taking an average of 3 years where the weather changes dynamically over 3 years and compared to any 1 year.
That was what I was thinking too,
Yeah.
because there's so many variables in this. We have a dry year versus a hot year versus a
Oh, yeah.
rainy year, it's kind of not gonna pull out fair numbers anyway.
Yeah. I
So,
agree.
yeah.
You'd have to do averages.
3-year
You could
average
get- yeah,
makes
compare
sense,
an
yeah.
average to an average, not.
For the intent and purpose of this, how much does it really affect?
Well, if
Yes.
we're saying we didn't meet our goal, when, depending on which numbers you use, maybe we did meet our goal. That's kind of
Yeah.
big.
With the variables that you said.
Exactly, more attention to
You'd have to
demographics.
put that.
and
Yeah,
like
The
huge
last
water
few years
users.
we've been pretty hot.
Be careful not to use this year's number.
Yeah,
Right?
Yeah.
most likely, yes.
And then there was also the system leakage that occurred. I'm reading down the line.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, and then there was the year that
We dumped the water tank.
We dumped the water tank, we couldn't use the water for a while.
I think we dumped it a couple times.
There's
Yeah.
dead birds in there or something.
Yeah.
That was probably 2022, just looking
It's
at.
been a minute.
The birds were roosting on the roof
Yeah.
and there was a hole in the roof, so.
That's right, I remember that.
so-
Anything else, Commissioner Rickard?
No, we're gonna go with that, and that's it.
Yeah. All the numbers are really there though, right?
Well, they're there.
It's a false conclusion, but
Yeah.
at least a person reading it can find out it's a false conclusion.
But it's not a conclusion we came up with. You took this from.
I pulled the water data
Yeah.
from the.
That
It's not like
conclusion-
we're making it up.
The conclusion came from Welsh Comer that we didn't
Um,
meet our,
I pulled the data from
Yeah.
Wells Comer's report.
No, but the conclusion also
Yeah.
came out in the water plan.
Right.
Yeah, it's their, you can see the source, it's their memo.
Yep.
So it'd be more than just their graph, I would think.
I would expect better from engineers than
That's why we hire them, right?
that. Yeah.
Okay, moving on. You good, okay. Now we come to public testimony, is there anybody in the, okay, did you sign in?
Oh.
Todd Easy,
Someone
Seven
say,
610.
no.
East South Riverway. I'd like to thank all the planning commission people, all their hard work, and Amanda, remarkable, putting together that big fix. So, thank you very much on behalf of myself and many people in Millwood. Also coming up, number 8, they're gonna make a request, reschedule the meeting, and, on behalf of the League of Women Voters and the, Shireen and the, Millwood Community Association, we're asking you to please consider and pass the change of date for that. The League of Women Voters is gonna have, meet the candidates.
I think this is just the comprehensive
Yeah,
plan.
this
is,
This is
hearing.
just comprehensive plan.
Gotta stand up later.
Yeah,
That'll
go
be
ahead.
it. That'll be a separate time.
Okay,
Okay.
thank you very much for all your hard work.
Okay.
Okay, next up we have Tina Seifert.
Hi, Tina Seifert, 10507 East Empire. On this water thing, it's just a suggestion. With the difference things, since you got the conclusion from Wells Comer, can you put like a footnote that has the actual average? Just add like a little additional language, just a suggestion. That way it's kind of more clear, and then people wouldn't be reading it and go, where's this number coming from?
Yeah,
Not
if you
thinking
wanna
that it's coming from
propose that with your, so that would be option 2, and the change would be, include the, you just have to spell it out, include the average under, paragraph under figure 11-2. Or however you wanna do it, I could add that in.
Okay.
That was just a suggestion.
Thank
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank
Great
you.
work.
Thank you.
And that's all the individuals that signed up for public comment. And since the staff and the applicant are the same, we don't need to have an applicant rebuttal. Any final questions from the planning commission in regards to this? Okay, then I am officially going to close the public hearing, and now we can deliberate.
We're closing public comment.
Public says close public testimony.
Yes.
What did I say?
Hearing.
Oh, okay. Closing the public testimony. Now we can deliberate the, any deliberation that has to be on this, because they're looking for us to make a decision on this tonight.
Yeah. So is there an easy way we can fix these number things to draw?
So, I kinda like, what Ms. Seifert just said about putting a footnote for the numbers on the water. I think that's probably a pretty good idea. And as far as, the historic preservation, if we want to, even though that's in an ordinance, if I understand right, we can ask the city council to reopen that?
I would do it as part of the 2026.
That's 20, right, okay. So, I mean, if that's something that we could do, we certainly can ask them to do that.
Like I say, it is all there somewhere, it just feels like it should all be in the historic preservation
Should-
chapter.
Right.
You know, it exists in ordinances, but you kinda have to pick your ordinance. And it seems like it'd be nice to have it all in one.
Yes.
One document,
So, but that, I don't see that holding us up today,
okay,
personally.
okay. I'm just gonna call on each individual commissioner, Commissioner Rickard, any additional comment? Okay, Commissioner Beasley?
No, I like the idea if we can fix this water thing, cause it's,
And would that be in the paragraph under table 11-8? Is that the one we're referring to?
I believe so.
Yes.
Okay.
You kind of clear on the language you wanna put in there?
I will request, let's see, so paragraph under table
Thank you for that suggestion, by the way.
-8, which is page 206, 207. You want, was it the average for, overall average, instead of just the 3 years?
No, it says the 21 to 23 average was 6% higher than the 2016 baseline. I think
Yes.
that,
Or do we just wanna describe what the 2016 baseline is so people can make sense of it? Cause anybody who looks at this chart is gonna can see that conclusion, that it's goofy.
well,
I have trouble with the city did not meet their goal. When, maybe that isn't a reasonable conclusion.
224.
320.
224.
220.
I feel like a little indifferent towards making the change.
I think we should compare apples to apples, like Tina said, take an average of maybe 15, 16, and 17 to compare it to the average of 21 through 23, rather than just that 1 year.
Or 14, 15, 16, so we end up at 16 like we're ending up now.
Sure.
I don't know. But,
I was just thinking 16 would be right in the middle of those 3 years, and you could reference that.
Add the average of 2014 to 2016 to compare to the 2022 to 2023,
Right.
or 2021 to 2023.
Yeah, then you've got average to average versus 1 year versus 3 years. That's a good point, Bill.
so what does the average to average actually come out to?
It does it on the next page too. Sorry.
Oh,
Cause then it shows on the next page, the city saw 6% decrease, and then it does it again when compared to 2021-23. Where'd it go?
yeah, since
Really,
2017.
guys?
Yeah, it's just like doing it again, so if we change it there, we're gonna have to change it there too. Unless we can try to maybe just understand why they're using that as baseline, maybe there's a reason, it's just.
So
Is it possible to contact Wells Comer? And, cause I think Bill's got a good point, Tina's got a good point, Vanna's got a good point, that maybe there's a reason that they picked 2016 in that one graph and 2017 in the next graph.
Or if we even say, according to Welch Comer, the city did not meet their goal.
Yeah.
And I'm okay with that too.
Put the blame on them.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can change it to that,
Yeah.
that'd be satisfying.
Well, it's a true statement.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not sure I wanna stand
Say,
behind.
according to Welsh, the city did not meet its goal despite water use trending down.
Yes.
And then it says it in the next like section, so.
Why did we do those things?
I'm good with either one of those, average to average or,
I mean, obviously the easy is according to Welch Comer.
yeah. Even though that's wrong.
Well, even though they're wrong,
That's
but
what I
we're
mean,
not wrong
yeah.
in stating
Right.
that that's what they say.
Right.
Well, I like that, and that gets us moving forward, so.
So that would be under table 11-8, as shown in table 11-8, table 6 above. This, according to Welch Comer, the city did not meet their goal to reduce consumption.
Or according to Welch Comer, the city did not meet their goal to reduce consumption per connection by 1% during the peak months. See table 11-8.
Well, as shown in table 11-8 above, we already have it referenced at the beginning of the sentence.
Well, that's what I'm saying, take that out and stick it at the end. Just it makes a less awkward sense.
Okay. So,
I don't know, it's,
so page 206. I'm gonna write this. According
so this is peak months only.
to Welch
That is
Comer.
so dependent on the weather in a particular year.
Definitely.
Cause their peak months are all about watering the grass. And that's all about the weather. Huh.
Okay, they're using the peak, they're using 2016 as the base year.
Yeah. And comparing an average too.
Cause if you total them all up, our average is 129,000. And something and change.
Now, when you say total them all up, you're talking about all of them?
2010 through 2023,
Really? And what is the average?
129
How is that
something.
possible?
Well, 129,000.
This the last column, Bobby, the consumption per connection.
Alls I did is I took,
Oh, over there.
Yeah,
Oh, per connection, okay.
right, that's what Mike was talking about.
alls I did was take
Okay.
the.
No, yeah, I got
I
it.
just did the thousands, I did like 119, 126.
Okay, so I reworded it, page 206, the first paragraph under table 11-8. According to Welch Comer, the city did not meet their goal to reduce consumption per connection by 1% during the peak months, as shown in table 11-8, table 6 above.
Yes.
Okay.
Let someone else pick out their numbers.
Yes.
That's the whole paragraph, the way you read it, right?
And then the second, to determine trends in each user category, I didn't mess with that.
It's a little more honest. Since we
I think
discovered
the
it.
thing on that whole thing that shocks me is just the amount of water that we use.
Yeah.
Period. I would have never have thought that the average connection in the month of July is 134,000 gallons.
Yeah.
That's a lot of showers. That's a lot of
A lot
clothes.
of tomato
That's
plants.
a lot of watering the lawn.
That might
Oh,
be-
yeah, no, I know that.
That might be 3 or maybe even 4 months. It's peak months.
Yes, peak months,
Okay.
and which is July through September.
Okay,
July, August,
Oh,
3
yeah,
months.
right.
okay, you're right.
There's a footnote
So that could
there.
be a quarter of the year. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay,
And there's leakage, which there.
so is everybody okay with the way she worded that?
Yeah.
Okay, and so then the only other thing was to ask them, I don't know how we gotta do it, to make a reminder to ask them to open up chapter 7 for the next periodic update.
How do we do that, Lisa? Do we,
Excellent question.
Just ask them,
We might even wanna hold off on that,
okay?
I think.
okay,
Probably not
As,
going into
as we
budgets.
get closer, so what is the deadline? Deadline is-
There isn't, because there was no annual amendment, so it would just be, as we reopen the comp plan to include the climate, we would just need to talk to council before that about revising chapter 7.
Okay, so,
Yeah.
so let's not confuse them with
Okay.
that this time
Okay.
around.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. Any more discussion on the matter? Okay, so I will believe that, let me find my notes here. You want us to, recommend,
I believe it would be option 2. Recommendation of approval with modifications, and the modification would be the rewrite of the first paragraph under table 11-8 on page 206, to start with according to Welch Comer. And then I'll incorporate it in right now.
so, I'll entertain a motion to, do what she just said. Which would be recommended to the city council with an amendment.
A recommendation of approval with that one modification.
Recommendation for approval.
So moved.
Do I have a second?
I second that.
Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The ayes have it. And just Amanda, Lisa, great work on putting this whole thing together. So. Yeah. It's been, and you know, great work to, I think we all need to just give ourselves a pat on the back. This has been a long process, and I wanna thank the public. A lot of you guys have been here for a lot of these meetings, and you can make a difference. Just your little, having us put a footnote on it, you know? It seems like something small, but you know, if we don't have public input, those kind of things don't happen, so thank you. All right, next up is the city planner report.
Yes, thank you. So, we are still, working through the 9011 East-South Riverway, both the code enforcement side of things, and they did supply some documents dealing with the project for the retaining wall and the parking lot. And so we're working through that with them. We did have an updated site plan approval and address assignment for the ADU at 9204 East Grace. Reviewed a shed and approved that on Sargent, and then just miscellaneous others. And obviously, you know where we were at with the comp plan periodic update.
Thank you. Any questions for Amanda?
Is there, I have a question.
Go ahead.
Is there any update on the property right here, where Fitness Fanatics was? Or did I miss that?
Oh, yeah.
Down on
No,
Trent.
No.
where the old post office was, the-
Oh, still under review. We're waiting on revised plans to be submitted.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Thank you.
Anything else? Okay. I did skip over public comment on anything not related to the comp plan.
yes,
With any of the,
yeah,
Mr. Beasy.
yeah.
Todd Beasy, 8610 East South Riverway, and thank you for, or I apologize for trying to jump the gun there. But I'm asking you to, well, I already stated it, please change the date on behalf of residents of Millwood. I've got a flyer here to hand out to everybody. I know this doesn't take effect until next month, but this gives you a heads up on what's going on, or hopefully will go on. And so if people ask you, you'll be able to answer their questions.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Beasy. Anybody else out of the audience? Okay, that brings us to commissioner comments. Commissioner Rickard.
No comment.
Commissioner Beasy.
I have a comment that, I would say it's a little bit, discouraging that we put all of this work into planning and going to put a lot of work into the zoning ordinances and things. And especially the comprehensive plan, and then the city decides that they're gonna start a big project and they kind of ignore, disregard a lot of the things in the comprehensive plan. I mean, one of the things that's kinda come up this week is they tore down the trees, which of course is against a lot of our planning documents. And they're putting in a fence. And they're only putting one gate in the fence. So while we have all of our goals talk about pedestrian access and encouraging and helping the businesses and all of this, and yet we've taken the Central Business District's largest employer and fenced them off from the business district, basically. So any employee wants to run out to the market to get a slushie or go to the Rocket or have lunch or whatever, they can't get through the fence because we put a fence up. They've got to walk.
Well, did we put the fence up or did they want it? Is it a
It's City of
is it a
Millwood put-
safety issue?
They wanted 2 gates.
They did?
Yeah.
Okay. That's interesting.
So, but the city didn't want to pay for a second gate. They put one in up here by Euclid, but they didn't put one down by Liberty where you can cross the street and get across to the businesses. So we basically said it's important to have, walking access. Also, if you live in that whole quarter of town and you work at the mill, that's the way you would walk to work if we want to encourage that. And again, we shut it down. So that's kind of discouraging. And I also wonder, because I thought the code was that a fence in a front side yard could not be over 2.5 feet tall. And that one's closer to 4 feet tall. And I'm wondering if they got a special dispensation of some sort, or how did that fence get to be 4 feet tall instead of 2.5 feet? When our code indicates otherwise.
Would that be
That would
considered
be
a
a council
front yard?
question or a public works question.
Would that be considered a front yard? Because I know a front yard can't be more than 2.5 feet, but.
It's a side front, well, most of that is, they've got like a 6-foot fence for their side and backyard. Front yard comes down to closer to 4.
Okay.
Not 2.5,
Right.
so I
And it
just-
wasn't fenced
So
there
you're
before.
8 feet out of the right, so you're 8 feet out of the right.
So I can see the mill might want some, you've got a trail right there, you want some delineation, but there should be a couple gates and it doesn't need to be that high to dissuade people from wandering accidentally onto the lawn. So like I say, we pass all these things and then it seems like when it comes to a giant project, nobody's reading through the comp plan and all of the ordinances
Good point.
to follow. So,
Duly noted. I agree. Commissioner Malter,
No additional comments.
Commissioner Wu,
I have some comments. It's come to my attention today, this might be my last meeting. And it wasn't planned to be that way, so I just wanted to say thank you to all of you guys. It's been almost 4 years. I'm here with you guys every month, so not every month, but a lot of it. So it's been a really awesome experience and really enjoyed working with you guys.
Is that something that is cast in stone as far as if,
Well, I don't know. I
Yeah.
did not know that that's the way that conversation was gonna go.
Well,
I didn't know that.
if there can be a further conversation on the back end, because it kind of would feel good to wrap this up with the team
Yeah.
instead of just
I don't
being
know.
ousted and lost.
she's been so involved in this entire process and
Yeah.
her term is probably, 2 more years if you've been here for 4 years out of 6, that I guess I would request that, some type of adjustment be made so that Savannah wants to remain on the council and she's been so involved that she'd be allowed to do so until, her term is up, or something to that effect, Lisa, so that we could.
I'll certainly send an email to Brian.
she's
and
moved,
Find out.
you're moving, is that we have in the past, and I don't know, we may have gone in and changed it since then, but we have in the past had a member move out of the city and continue on for several months afterwards. because at that time, there was nothing that said you had to live in Millwood.
And
It may now say
I still
so.
own property in Millwood, that's not
This is
changing.
still proper.
Okay, that's good to know.
Yeah.
Yeah, because in some of our ordinances, it says or own property.
Okay.
I don't know.
Okay,
So it needs to be looked into.
yeah, I think we should.
I would encourage whatever we gotta do to look into that for sure.
I'll send an email
And just,
tomorrow.
because I appreciate the service that you provided here and coming to the meetings and participating. And frankly, if you look at the rest of your commission or your planning commission here, we need the young blood on this commission too. Okay?
4
So,
years, all right.
yeah, exactly. So,
Gone by pretty
so,
quick.
we appreciate that, so, cool. You know, I'm just gonna refer to my comments from last week, last meeting. The traffic plan that the contractor submitted, I'm sure it's not being followed, and I'll be glad when this project gets wrapped up. So, it looks like they're making some headway. They got through the strike okay, so that it didn't affect them too much. In fact, it actually helped them because they were able to pay when other projects weren't, so. So that's my only comment on that. Looks like they are requesting us, and based on the flyer that Mr. Beasy gave us, they're requesting us to move our meeting from Wednesday, October 29th to Tuesday of October 28th. I will entertain a motion to do that.
I second that motion.
What's that? The motion would be our
I-
next meeting to be October 28th.
Yes.
Okay. Do I have a second?
I second that.
Any discussion on it?
I think that's a good idea.
Yeah,
There's something about asking concerned citizens to be two places at the same time.
Oh, yeah.
That isn't right.
Yeah.
That's a good one place at once.
So, as most of you probably are aware, I work for an organization that is very politically involved, and I go to a ton of these type of things, and they are so important to attend. Okay, especially given the fact that we are going to have a new mayor,
Yes.
and I think the citizens need to have the opportunity to interview the candidates so they can make an informed choice. And it looks like we have some new people running for city council, and let's give them a chance to get up and tell us what they want to do. So, okay, so with that in mind, I have a motion and a second to move our meeting to October 28th. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? So moved. And with that, I will.
We'll do a special meeting notice for you.
Okay, so we'll do a special meeting notice. Looks like the anticipated agenda items is more of the periodic update and discuss the draft critical areas ordinance. And with that, I will entertain a motion to adjourn the meeting.
I'll make that motion to adjourn the meeting.
Give me a
Second?
Got a second? All in favor, say aye.
I
Aye.
All opposed? Okay, meeting adjourned.